Breaking news from the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs are signing guard Trey Smith to a 4-year deal worth $94 million. 70 of that is guaranteed for him. That is the latest, has been confirmed by our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. Smith and the Chiefs, they pushed it almost to the deadline. They had until 4 o'clock today to get a deal done after the team put the franchise tag on him back in March. So instead of $23.4 million for 1 year, he now becomes the highest paid guard in the league. And not just the highest paid guard in the league, the highest paid guard in league history. It has reset the market. Let's welcome in our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. I mean, they barely got this done, JJ, but they did, in fact, get it done. What did it take?
Yeah, deadlines always spur action, and right on the side of Trey Smith, his representation trying to get as much as they could from the Kansas City Chiefs. And look, anytime that you have a player on the franchise tag at that sort of number, right, $23+ million, that's an immovable number. What I mean by that is when you sort of are on a long-term deal, you can have a signing bonus, you can take that cap hit down. But when you are paid $23.4 million on the franchise tag, that is also the cap number. So there's a lot of want to on the side of a team to lessen that number, to free up that cap space. And so now we see right there, highest paid guards in NFL history. Landon Dickerson set the record last year. Now Trey Smith goes well above that, in large part thanks to the franchise tag that was set at $23.4 million. Again, right there, we see the guarantees. My goodness, Robert Hunt came through last year when the Carolina Panthers desperately needed that interior offensive line help. But Trey Smith, he also cashes in at a time where the Chiefs decided to tag him, decided to trade Joe Thuney, the all-world interior offensive lineman who kicked out to left tackle when the Chiefs needed him the most last season. But when they did that, when they traded away Joe Thuney, when they decided to franchise tag Trey Smith, they really did put their eggs into the Trey Smith basket. And so here you have it, about 2 hours before the deadline. Ultimately, the details finally get hammered out. Probably an extra $1 million or so in total compensation going to Trey Smith that he and his representation probably got out of the Chiefs today. But a deal done that we were anticipating, that the Chiefs were hoping for, and certainly Trey Smith was hoping for.
We've talked about it for a long time. How long can the Chiefs keep this going? And in large part is if they have Andy Reid, if they have Patrick Mahomes, that's pretty good. Travis Kelce's still there. Don't know if he's going to be there past this season. And Andy Reid already said, look, I'm going to keep an eye on him, kind of keep his numbers down a little bit. For somebody like Trey Smith to be a part of this Chiefs mix and to keep their success moving, how important is he as a factor in this puzzle?
Well, it's huge because you have to be able to protect Patrick Mahomes, right? He is the franchise. There is no question about it. And on Mahomes, we do have to yet again bring up his contract, the interesting structure, a deal that Patrick Mahomes, he certainly, if he were on the open market, would get paid maybe double what he's getting paid from the Kansas City Chiefs. But he and his representation were intentional several years ago in setting up that 10-year contract that would lessen his cap hits each and every year. We see right here the offensive line, right? And, you know, you have a Josh Simmons whom they drafted, whom I've been told has looked incredible so far in the early work. The knee checked out, but of course they signed Jalen Moore in free agency to that 2-year deal from San Francisco, so there will likely be some competition there. Kingsley Suamaitea, it didn't really work out at tackle. They've slid him into guard. You have Creed Humphrey, arguably, or maybe inarguably, the best center in all of football. Trey Smith just got paid as the best right guard in all of football. And then Jawan Taylor, you obviously hope that he's going to cut down on his penalties and false starts and be able to protect Patrick Mahomes. And so that's what the Chiefs have been very focused on. We remember the Super Bowl several years ago against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when there was not enough protection for Patrick Mahomes. Things faltered. Then, of course, we remember this past year where maybe the weapons weren't necessarily there for Mahomes. And so the Chiefs have tried to address those shortcomings. And when we talk about shortcomings, we talk about getting to the Super Bowl. That's what shortcomings are for the Kansas City Chiefs, getting there and not winning it. They needed more, but they also, of course, as Patrick Mahomes gets up there in age, still one of the youngest, greatest players in NFL history, but getting older, you're going to have to make sure that you are protecting him, that you are lessening the hits on his body. Chiefs don't know how much longer they have with Travis Kelce and with Chris Jones, probably just this year. with Travis Kelce, but as long as you have Patrick Mahomes, you always have a chance.
Patrick Mahomes, 29 years old. He turns 30 in September. JJ, we appreciate it. The big news, though, with the Chiefs today, going all in on Trey Smith, agreeing to a 4-year extension worth $94 million. Again, 70 of that is guaranteed. Tied with most pass blocking snaps, 665 without allowing a sack in 2024. Some stellar numbers for him as the Chiefs continue to look for success. And we are not long away. Count on Sundays. The NFL on CBS returns September 7th. You can always watch it on CBS or stream those games on Paramount+.